Hey y'all, it's Melissa at Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube channel, Twin Oaks Farm Poultry, and we are working on moving in a flock of 100 broilers. So we have a small commercial poultry production operation where we specialize in poultry production from starting, growing, and finishing Cornish Rock cross meat chickens. They can be raised and be ready to be processed into chicken in about 5 or 6 weeks. So we go from hatch to harvest with our birds in about 6 weeks. And we had a hatch and move-in scheduled for October 19th, 2023. And as it turns out, I got word today, October 18th, 2023, that our birds are at a local post office in our county and they are ready to be picked up. So we ordered 100 Cornish Rock cross meat chickens, straight run. Straight run means we take them as hatched, guys and girls, so we don't ask for only males or only females. We just take them as hatched, whatever we get. So this is a great example of if you're moving in chickens of any kind, whether they're meat chickens or egg production chickens or pet chickens or just having chickens for fun, whatever. Anytime you're moving chickens in and you know ahead of time, this is a great example of why it's a really good practice to get ready several days ahead, maybe even a week ahead, especially if you have any significant work to do to get a place ready for them or get a chicken pen set up for them. If you wait until the last minute, for one thing, something like this could come up where the chicks are actually ready a little earlier than you anticipated, and you want to be able to go get them, move them right in, and have everything really set up and safe for them and ready to go for them. Also, sometimes we get to setting up, a pen for chickens, and we run into some snags or we run into some problems that we didn't anticipate, and maybe we need a little longer than we thought we would to get the pen or the building set up. So whatever the case, the best practice is always, even up to maybe a week ahead of time, when you know those birds are going to be coming in. Doesn't, like I said, doesn't matter quantity, doesn't matter what kind, doesn't matter if it's 12, 25, 100, 300, 500, whatever. Go ahead and take the time as a best practice to get ready maybe a week ahead of time. Give yourself some time. We were anticipating a Thursday hatch and move in, and so the weekend previous to that, on Saturday and Sunday, we knew we needed to get our plan together, get our action executed, and get the place ready for them. And so we showed y'all this end of a shed, little building that we have. We did a video, I think we just called it 100 broilers moving in October 19th, 2023, get ready. And so we were basically just going over how we're using this end of a shed to make it a starting pen for this flock of chickens coming in. So we're going to take a look at the same shed, same building, and going to show you what we put in place to have it ready for these chickens. So that was get ready, and this is get set, and we anticipated just getting this set today, the final set on this pen. And so in this video, showing you kind of more or less the checklist and checking off the items that we want to have in place when we're ready to move chicks into it. We didn't anticipate this being move-in day, but it is, and you know what? That's no stress because we were ready. We already had the pen set. I just had to do some minor things like plugging things in, turning things on, and filling up some water reservoirs. So I'll show you that, but just had to do some minor things to get it ready. And if we'd waited, and if we'd said our plan is Wednesday night, we're going to get it ready, I would be scrambling and stressed out now. So always a good practice. Just, livestock's coming, get things ready for them well in advance so that it's all going to be ready to go when they get here. So let's take a look back at this little building. So y'all would have seen us, working on it, getting it secured where it's safe from predators coming in from outside, and would have seen it as we were getting the indoor part of it, set up for them. So here's a couple other things. We actually moved our feed in, I believe either Monday or Tuesday, anticipating a Thursday arrival of the birds. We got our feed here on site either Monday or Tuesday, and we always plan on 20 50-pound bags of feed for 100 birds. And we've used that consistently as a reference point for how much feed do we need to be ready for birds, and it always seems to work for us. And that would work for us whether we were feeding on 6 weeks or 5 weeks. We plan on 50-pound bags, 20 of them, for 100 birds. So that might be a reference point you could use. We're going to keep these metal garbage cans here. These birds will definitely be in here for 2 or 3 weeks is the plan. So we're going to put feed bags into these metal garbage cans. We don't dump the feed in. We'll just set a 50-pound bag in each one and feed out of there while these birds are living here. We also try to keep some bags of pine shavings handy here ready to go. We've got an extra water there. I want to show you here as we walk in a feature that is important to us and just, you know, happens to work here, but you might have to integrate something similar like wherever you're keeping chicks. Before that, we do keep a couple of extra heat lamp bulbs on hand there. So we're using red heat lamps, as you can see there. So we've got those on hand, little pitchfork for cleaning stuff out. So this board is here as a blocker in this doorway. So one time moving chicks in, I was right here, so I'm right in a doorway, as you can see there. So there's the doorway. So I was right in the doorway, had the door pulled shut behind me. I'll let you look at how we have this pen just set up there for the 100 chicks while I'm talking. But had the door pulled shut behind me, had a box of chicks, you know, like right here, and I'm unloading them and doing that one at a time, putting their beaks in water, letting them acclimate to the pen. And as we're unloading the box and putting chicks in the pen, chicks are disappearing out of the pen and we don't know where they're going, and we're going, what in the world is going on? Well, as it turned out, there was enough little gap under the doorway behind me that as I was taking like a chick out of the box and setting it down, or, you know, water and then setting it down, it was finding that opening under the doorway, and we were losing chicks. So that's when we remembered, you know, they're so small they can get through really small crevices, which we shouldn't have crevices they can fit out of, because that also means really small things can probably fit in there. But anyway, we've corrected that now at the door as well. But even still, we go ahead and put a blocker board here at our doorway. So for one thing, when I open the door up, I don't have chicks rushing the door and getting out. And also, it makes a barrier where, like, I can prop the door open and they're still in. It also makes a barrier where I can step in and they're not immediately under my feet, so it's less risk of stepping onto them. But I am stepping over the blocker board now and coming in. And so just going to show you this building. I'm estimating it's probably about 13 foot by 13 foot inside here, maybe a little smaller than that. But for 100 birds moving in, we decided just to set up 4 heat lamps in here for them. Remember, chicks, like hatchling chicks, need a little bit of external resource to help them with maintaining body temperature. Chickens need to be about 107 degrees, and chicks don't maintain that on their own. So they need an ambient temperature of about 95 degrees when they're chicks. So we've got waters set up. There's water in them already filled. I had to fill the waters, but we already had the risers in place for where we want the waters. We'll put at least one more right here, and we'll probably bring that extra in. These risers are for feeders, but we don't put feed in until after about 2 hours. After we've moved them in, we let them get a drink first, settle in, let the stress of transport and shipping dissipate, and then we put food in, and we make sure that everybody's doing good. These heat lamps, I'll have some string, and I will actually take these cords and tie up so they're fastened against those. We don't want those hanging down. But this pen is set, and like I said, having got it ready ahead of time, all I had to do was come in here and fill water and plug in lamps. And you do want to have your lamps plugged in ahead enough that when the birds move in, it's already a warm ambient temperature in the pen form. We also block out corners with some blocker boards. That's just scrap lumber, but we don't want them back in these corners. They could get in a gap like this, and they can smash each other back into corners. The bedding is clean pine shavings in here, level, and not something they're gonna, you know, slip on. They'll be able to move around on it easily. So this is one way you can set up a pen 4 chicks. And we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna house 100 chicks in here. We'll monitor. We'll probably have to raise the heat lamps maybe slightly. With the heat lamps, the goal is to kind of make a blanket of light and warmth for them. So y'all, thanks for joining.